Hello and welcome to another vlog. I'm trying something a bit different this video. Now, during the last game we played, I decided to get the camera out and have a go at recapping the adventure as it went. What follows is an attempt to edit all that footage together into some kind of cohesive video. So, without further ado, cue the royalty-free generic fantasy music. Welcome, watchers of YouTube, to a game of Endungeoned. There's a quest in progress, so here's a progress report. Cavell the Witch Hunter and Trevor the Arcane have ventured into the ruins of an old kingdom. I'm not going to keep this up too long. Right. Trevor the Arcane and Cavell have ventured into some old kingdom rooms in search of the magic maze. This is quest 2 of my version of the Shattered Amulet quest. Last game they got the first shard of the amulet. There it is. And so they are currently in search of the second shard, and they've just started this dungeon really. Here's the entrance area here. It's a sort of gouge into a hillside, a couple of pools in there. These pools are Mage Knight pieces I repainted, while the cliff bits around them are actually repurposed Mega Blocks pieces. I've removed the studs with clippers and put a bit of textured plastic art over the top there. That little tree there, I think, came out of a Kinder Egg. And there's bits of ruined buildings sticking out of this hill, implying there is much dungeon underneath it. Here's the first chamber, the statue chamber. That statue's been looted. I'll move that marker so that... There we go. Nice old Mage Knight statue that I've repainted. And in there they trigger a trap. That's my spiky iron ball swing down from the ceiling and hurt people badly trap. By the way, this little barred gate here, scratch built, rather pleased with that. And from there, they descended down these spiral stairs, where they have just fought off 2 assassin clan rat men. There's one of them, it's converted from Advanced Hero Quest Skaven with the fighting claws from the Mordheim Gutter Runner sprue, and I think it's a bit of a zombie blade or something added to the tail there to make the tail weapon. My rather nice spiral stairs piece here was made by Scotia Grindlaw. Here's a selection of the dice I use, and the cards I use for tracking initiative. And here behind my GM screen is all the things from later on in the dungeon they haven't encountered yet, that I'm not going to go into detail about because Andy is in the room and he is listening. And now I will stare at a cracked floor tile. So we've been playing for a little bit longer now. They've explored this room here, which has got big sort of stone blocks forming shells with pots on. They've fought a bunch of Skaven assassins and gutter runners in that room. And similar in here, it's a more ruined looking room, and in there they fought a Skaven Beastmaster and what was supposed to be a swarm of rats coming out of the drainage grills. They blocked it with a chest there, and there's another one there. But I rolled very badly for spawning the giant rats, and only 2 appeared. It's my Cyclopean blocks been used to form the raised areas in these rooms. It's the pots I made out of beads. You've seen them in another video. They have just opened the door to this room here, which is a sort of temple or shrine type room. It's lit by this brazier you saw me showing you how I made them in a previous video as well. The shrine at the end there is made by Scotia Grendel, like many of the resin pieces I own. And yep, got three more gutter runners there. The model with the bow there is by Ralpatha Europe. The middle gutter runner is a converted Advanced Hero Quest Skaven, and the one on the end there is a genuine Mordheim gutter runner. Okay, so it's yes, a while later on in the game, and much hilarity has ensued. So they discovered that in the shrine there was a huge chunk of witchstone, or warpstone, whichever you prefer. This is my campaign fitting into my world rather than the Warhammer world, so I'm calling it witchstone for the purposes of that. And they've explored a bit more, but during the process, Trevor the Arcane, against the wishes of Cavell, has stashed this head-sized chunk of warpstone in his backpack. And that led to some disagreement. And they're a two-man party, and they split the fucking party. Now, Trevor the Arcane went through this way, where there was, well, there still is, but now it is open, an iron trapdoor with a lever above it, and hilarity ensued when he tried to carefully open the trapdoor with the lever using his whip, and ended up sort of just dangling there from the lever by his whip. Meanwhile, Cavell was over here investigating this section here and discovering some stairs down, and they caught up again together, and Cavell of course found Trevor dangling from his whip above that pit there, and he had, I'm not going to call it a bad plan, but I'm not going to call it a good plan either. He took out a grappling hook and rope and hurled it in the direction of Trevor to try and sort of, you know, get him from his precarious dangling position. But what he did is, very bad roll, he impaled Trevor's arm, and Trevor let go of his whip and slipped down a chute, and suffered much injury. Trevor ended up sliding down the chute to this position here, and Cavell went back this way and down the stairs. They have now both entered the magic maze itself, and have begun separately exploring. In the original adventure, the magic maze is described as having tube-shaped corridors. I didn't really want to go about modelling that, but to suggest that sort of thing, I've just used the arches upside down in the corridors, and it looks rather good, I think. Trevor the Arcane is currently afraid that Cavell is out to kill him. And here's Cavell. He's working his way through the rooms of the maze, fighting the undead Ratmen Guardians. Trevor has worked his way through this way to the, well, it's the quest room of the dungeon, where he has run into another one of the Undying Guardians. The altar there is another Scotia Grendel resin piece, and well, during all that time, if you know the adventure, these grills here have been randomly unleashing fireballs which have been shooting up and down the corridors. These are the dungeon drains, as seen in the dungeon drain tutorial I did a couple of videos back. And in this dungeon, I am using them as the points where the fireballs shoot out of in the magic maze. And for the fireballs themselves, I've been using this Wizards of the Coast prepay miniature, which I've repainted to make it look not shit. There's been a couple of near misses and a direct hit where Trevor was standing right next to a grate when it went off. So yeah, this adventure took a rather unexpected turn at this point, and well, I'll let you know how the next bit goes. So here we are at the end of the game. How was it, guys?
It's fine. It's fine.
Do you want to give a recap for the people, or shall I? They went into the magic maze, and they worked their way through it. There was a few kerfuffles along the way, and they reached a demon door that was here. The demon door is another scratch-built piece made mostly from textured plastic and some milliput. I might go back and make some more of these because in the years since I did this I've got a bit better at sculpting. And I think it's fair to say these guys suck at riddles. If you're curious and you'd like to have a go yourself, here are the riddles I used. I am Gargaroth of Mysteries. Leave your answers to my riddles in the comments below. Riddle the first. I am weaker than a bull, slower than a stag, and I bear no weapons, for I am always unarmed. But I could kill the mightiest with one blow. What am I? Riddle the second. What is it that sits in the wood, on earth, come rain or shine, holding jewels in its arms, and if you try to steal from it, you will find its claws are sharp? Riddle the third. My life can be measured in hours. I serve by being devoured. Thin I am quick, fat I am slow, and the wind is my foe. What am I? They only got one of the riddles, but they did manage to open the door and get the next shot of the amulet, which is over there somewhere. They have not attempted to join the amulet shards yet, at the time I'm aware of. And yeah, then it was just a matter of getting back through the magical maze with the fireballs, and that didn't go that well.
Somebody kept splitting the party.
Yeah, they split the party earlier, got the party back together, and on the way back decided to split the party and go two separate ways through the maze. One along this route here, which led to Trevor the Arcane getting killed by a fireball. But fortunately the fireball lit the Zymus candle he was carrying. Thank you to Runehammer, or Drunkens and Dragons, or whatever you're calling yourself at the moment, for that idea. I've used that in this campaign, so thank you. And that reversed time back to the point where they were about to enter the maze, and they tried again, and it nearly went as badly.
Don't blame Cavell. He tried the sensible thing.
Anyway, eventually they made it back through. Camped out over here, cooking over the brazier, and left the dungeon and went back to the village. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Trevor the Arcane! And this is my companion, Kevlar!
I'm Cavell.
And so another adventure has come to an end, but what next for our heroes? Like and subscribe to find out. Until you face with us once more,